Oh my god. I'm not even excited because I'm not on. You weren't here. Wow. You guys are jerks.
So friends, I finally got a break in the weather to collect some more data.
I don't even want to sit with you guys anymore.
So my concern, here's my concern. Jackson, I tested the fork. As far as I can tell, no deflections happening on the carbon, so I think I'm safe. I don't think I'm quite beastly enough to make a carbon fork deflect. So yay, happy. So if you might remember my great odyssey from before, cantilever brakes on my cyclocross bike, almost dying with them, terrible, terrible. Switched over to mini V-brakes to see if I would stop almost dying because I got tired of laying the bike down and crashing. And they worked just fine. So why would I then try to put full-sized V-brakes on? Full-sized V-brakes meaning that the arm here is a little bit longer. It's kind of hard to see on this picture, but it's a smidge longer. It's about that much longer on the V-brake. Remember my consternation with the mini Vs? A day like today would be perfectly acceptable to bitch about this. I couldn't put fenders under them. I couldn't put fenders, so I spent much of the month of February with a wet crotch, which is annoying. Wet feet I'm used to because the feet are going to get wet regardless of what getting rained on. It's the crotch and the back and the bag, and it just gets disgusting. I'm trying to save the world here, people. I'm trying to save the world. Come some slack. So, the question is, can I put full-size V-brakes on? Because everybody told me I couldn't. Every web forum that I saw that has been posted says you can't put these on. And they gave me some physical arguments. They said that when you pull a brake lever, this makes sense physically, it makes perfect sense. When you pull the brake lever, the same amount of cable comes in here as here, but the lever arm is longer on these than this. So it's kind of like the reason why when you jack up a car, you don't do it with a Leatherman, but you do it with a 4 to 5 foot long metal shaft. And if you had an even longer one, I mean, I remember, this is about 10 years ago now, I was building a bike with my colleague Doug Nelson. I might have had Doug in a class at some point. He had a snow, he's your advisor. He wanted to build a snow bike, so I had this old frame in my garage. And it has this thing called a bottom bracket, which if you know bikes, you know what that is. It's the thing that sticks in the bottom. It's the thing I broke with my road bike I was telling you about earlier. So it's this thing that goes in your bike and the pedals attached to it. So when your pedals are spinning, there's a set of bearings your pedals spin on. The bearings are housed in the bottom bracket. Well, my old bike was a steel bike. It had been rained on a couple times, and I don't know how I missed that. But the bottom bracket seized, it rusted into the frame, because they were both steel. And he's like, oh, we're going to get that thing out. I'm like, yeah, we are. He's like, we can't. And he took a socket wrench with the fitting on it, held it in, and he was going down, going down. He's like, I can't get this thing off. I'm like, it's okay, it's okay. He's like, you try it. I'm like, how about that? I'm going to break my face trying with that thing. He's like, what are you going to do? I'm like, watch. So I took the connector, bolted it onto the bottom bracket so it wouldn't move. Then I got a piece of 10-foot steel pipe, slid that onto the handle that he had, cracked it on. I said, stand back. He's like, what the hell are you going to do? And I, boop, with no effort whatsoever, all the rust popped. Why? Because Archimedes proved that to us 1,000 years ago, I think, maybe 500 years ago. Give me a lever long enough and a place to stand, and with my own weight, I can move the world. How many of you guys have used this principle to move something heavy? Right? I used to move boulders in the backyard with a 12-foot long 2x6. You put a small boulder under it, you make a seesaw. But you make a seesaw so it's not perfectly balanced left to right. You put the pivot closer to the heavy thing, whew, law of the lever. It's an inverse proportion. The shorter the distance to the fulcrum to the weight, the longer your distance, the more mechanical advantage you have. Now that can work against you. According to these guys on the forums, they said these wouldn't work because, and I forget if it was Jackson, you remember this better than me, it was too much torque, I guess, right? So I'm pulling the handles, and that was your concern too, was that I'd be pushing the... So in other words, I'd be generating too much torque with this, rather than not enough torque. Okay. So it was a concern. I said, I don't know, let's test it and see. Let's see if there's any measurable difference. If there's too much torque, I should be skidding more. I'm assuming it would lock the wheel up more. Oh, because so tight. Or maybe I would be skidding less but stopping more quickly because I could lock the wheels up safely, getting control, like anti-lock braking, if you will, more. So I snuck out Saturday with Max. Got a few more data points. Here's what I want you guys to do right now. L1, L2, L3. Get them in there now and keep them in there because we're going to need those. I don't know if we're going to get to the TI today. I want to walk you through an Excel spreadsheet today.
Was Max operating the bike?
Oh God, no. He was helping me measure where the wheels. No. No, I had to keep a controlled experiment from before, which was that driveway from before, same driveway across the street, dry pavement, tape measure stretched across the road. I let gravity pull me down the hill, got going at, I don't even know how fast I was going, I didn't check that, but it was consistent with before. Same tires. The only thing that was different was I had fenders on, which I'm assuming added a negligible amount of wind resistance, I'm guessing. And then as soon as I hit the curb, I started braking in a controlled manner, and these are my results. So and feet it took me to stop. Okay, I'm going to enter in with you guys. Let's turn the camera off, save some time.